Hi friends, I'm Felicia. Welcome here. It's December 20th and I want to sit down and try to do my November wrap up in one shot without editing. Storm is here. She being cute. And I don't know, I literally walked in the door getting home from work and then I put my stuff down and I came and sat down here. So we'll see how terrible this is. I don't want to edit it because otherwise I will just never post it. So let's get going, shall we? I read 7 books in November. Oh yeah, I will need to put up pictures. So, no, I'm not putting up pictures for you. Sorry. Alright, so let's just get started. Oh, it's a good thing I didn't commit to doing Vlogmas or anything because this would be a disaster. Okay, so the first book I finished in November was The Return of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. It was good. I mean, not too much that you could say about Sherlock Holmes books. I liked it. I'm listening to the Audible collection of all of the Sherlock Holmes things narrated by Stephen Fry, and I'm enjoying it. Hopefully next year I will finish it. There's that. Okay. The next book that I finished in November was We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. And I listened to this on audio. I forget who the narrator is. And I really enjoyed it. I've never read any Shirley Jackson previously to this. And I really liked it. It's totally my vibe. It was a great story. It's basically a short novel about 2 sisters and their uncle that live in a creepy house and everyone in the town is scared of them. Is it legit? Is it not? Who knows? I really liked it. Okay, the next book that I finished was The Great Influenza by John M. Barry, and I started this months ago, listening to the audiobook. I forget who the narrator was. I didn't really care for his narration, so that's fine. And what do I want to say about this book? It's about the Spanish flu, which I thought would be interesting to read about now, you know, just how things were back then. And this was mostly about the doctors and science, which... Excuse me? Storm is just... so happy that I'm home from work. She's just scratching a box that's beside me here. That's what that noise is. Yeah, you know what? You're cute. Okay. You'll just have to listen to that noise. Oh dear. What was I saying? I'm not editing this, Storm. Right, so it was mostly about the science, which was interesting to a point, and then it just got really boring and repetitive. I feel like the book was way too long. I feel like there was a lot of information that didn't need to be in there. It was speculation on the part of the author to make the story interesting. And yeah, would I recommend it if you want the information? But it's a slog, just so you know. But it was interesting and also educational on the previous pandemic on this worldwide scale. Yeah. So that's what I have to say about that. Read it if you want to, but it's a slog. Okay, the next book that I finished was Relish by Lucy Knisley, and I really liked it. I've read, well, is that my second Lucy Knisley book? But yeah, it's basically a memoir. She does graphic memoirs, which I really enjoy, and this one is about her love of food. Storm's at it again. Her love of food and growing up with chef parents and growing up in that food world in New York in the 80s and 90s. And it was really enjoyable to read. And there are also like recipes and stuff in there. after the end of every section. So that was also interesting, and I really liked it, and I really like her art style. Anyways, yeah, I borrowed this one from the library. I borrowed it from the library, but I would actually like to own a copy of this because it was just that nice to read. It was very pleasant. And I wish that I felt that way about food. I really don't. I have a very different relationship with food. But yeah. Okay, the next book that I finished was this little novella called The Reluctant Godfather by Alison Tebow. My friend sent this to me, and this is a self-published book. Not by my friend that sent it to me. I don't know Alison Tebow. Anyways, it's a Cinderella retelling where the fairy godmother is a guy named Burndy. Yeah, and it was cute. So yeah, there's that. It's a Cinderella retelling. I don't know what else to tell you about it. That's literally it. Okay. Oh, it is here. Okay. The next book that I finished, finally one I also can hold up, The Vinyl Cafe Notebooks by Stewart Mclean. Do we need to talk about how much I love Stewart Mclean? I don't think so. This is, however, this is non-fiction. So this is not stories with his usual characters. This is rather excerpts. Oh my word! Why can't I say that? Excerpts. Okay. From just writings. They're just short writings, mostly. Tiny essays. And they're grouped into like different themes. And most of them are like maybe at max 5 pages. So there's quite a few in here. And I just loved it. I loved it so much. Let me tell you some of the... I mean, I don't need to tell you about that. Some of the themes. Well, there's a whole section on reader's notes. So about books and reading, which is very nice. He has some about food. One of them is about a bakery in Winnipeg, which was fun to read. I've never actually gotten anything from that bakery, but I've heard of it. So that was fun. Telling little stories about his travels around Canada and things like that. He has one about his piano that he bought. And like his memories of having a piano growing up and things like that. So yes, very nice and pleasant. I enjoyed all of the stories and musings, and of course obviously I recommend it because I love Stewart Mclean. Okay, the last book that I finished in November was another graphic memoir, and this one was called Talking to Strangers by Marianne Boucher. So how does it start? She is an aspiring figure skater from Montreal, I think, and she's gonna go on a training retreat, whatever you want to call it, with her figure skating on her summer holiday from school, when she's in high school, and she goes to California, and then she ends up getting befriended by cult members, and basically they force her into their cult. So that's how her summer went. Instead of training for figure skating, she joined a cult. And this was in the 80s? 90s? It said the name of the cult in the book, and I forget what it was. Yeah, this is another library book, so I don't have it. So yeah, it's kind of Chantel's fault that now I'm interested in stories about cults, because she also is. So I just picked this one up because also I was looking for like non-fiction November things to read. So I did read quite a few. 4 out of the 7 things were non-fiction. Yes, so this, I gotta stop saying because I'm not editing this. So what I have to say about this graphic novel is that it was only okay for me. I didn't love the art style. It was only okay. And the writing of this and telling of the story was a little bit confusing at times. Like transitioning between events felt very choppy, so it wasn't always like, I didn't always realize right away that we were in like a different scene, or a different place, or, you know, time had passed. So there was that. Maybe that's the best way to say it, actually, was like the passing of time throughout the story was not very fluid, I guess, because it seemed like she got into the cult very fast, which might not be the case, but it seemed like it was like a week and she was in it. So that might not be it, but it just kind of felt like that. And yeah, I mean, obviously it's hard to critique someone's experience and how they're choosing to tell their story. But yeah, I didn't feel connected to it. I feel like maybe could have been edited a bit better in terms of just story flow. But yeah, I mean, like, if you want to read it, go ahead. It wasn't bad. It was a good way to spend 45 minutes, I guess, but I would never read it again. Yeah, so that's it. And we're just over 10 minutes. So those are the 7 books that I read in November. Let me know if you've read any of these and what your thoughts are. I know that Shirley Jackson is quite popular, and now I want to read all of her books. So tell me which one I should read next. Like, I never read The Lottery or anything, and I kept seeing memes about it, like since October, really, on this one Instagram page that I follow, and I just, like, I'm scared I'm gonna get spoiled, and apparently it's really short. So yeah, I guess I need to read it soon. But yeah, let me just know any of your thoughts about anything that I said. I love to chat with you guys in the comments. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. I hope that you're enjoying what you're reading, and Merry Christmas to all that celebrate Christmas, because this will be my last video that I post before Christmas, probably, for sure. Yeah, things are amping up here. Amping up? Ramping up? What is this saying? Do you say amping up or ramping up, or both? Anyways, yeah, so this week is looking pretty busy. I gotta wrap presents today and get that stuff done. And we have some siblings coming into town just to spend the next week and a half or so. So yeah, things are, I mean, not as busy as other years, but still busy. And for an introvert that needs lots of alone time, especially busy, but it's fun. It's good. But yeah, so I need to just take advantage of this evening. Chris and I are going to order some food in, and yeah, wrap presents, fold laundry, and things like that. So I already said goodbye. So again, Merry Christmas. And until next time and next year, so long, and thanks for the fish.